The Voidwalker paradox: what if you could survive in space without a suit? The news hit Dr. Elias Thorne like a solar flare, a deep space probe, investigating an anomalous radiation signature near the Kuiper Belt, had sent back video not of alien life, but of a human figure, a woman, completely exposed, drifting peacefully in the vacuum. Her skin was taut, a deep, unsettling indigo, and her eyes were open, fixed on the distant sun. She was, impossibly, surviving in space without a suit. This anomaly, dubbed Voidwalker 01, instantly shattered 2 centuries of space exploration dogma and launched Project Hermes, a secretive mission led by Elias, to capture her and study her adaptation. The world went mad with possibilities. Scientists theorized a latent human gene activated by cosmic rays, an unforeseen evolutionary leap, or a specialized biological armor triggered by the vacuum. Elias, a bioengineer obsessed with human resilience, saw it as humanity's second great frontier. When the Hermes shuttle finally located Voidwalker 01, identified as missing astronaut Captain Lyra Vane, the reality was even stranger. Her body was indeed perfectly preserved, her cells operating at a barely there, cryogenic stasis, minimizing the need for oxygen. Her skin had hardened into a dense, semi-crystalline lattice, a natural radiation shield. Lyra was not thriving, but she was definitely not dying. Back on Earth, Project Hermes rushed to replicate the process, experimenting on terminally ill volunteers. They succeeded. The subjects, christened the Naked Pioneers, emerged from the conditioning chambers with the same indigo skin and suspended biology. They could endure the vacuum, the cold, and the radiation. Humanity now had its first generation of true spaceborne explorers. The race to colonize the asteroid belt and beyond began, led by Elias. Hailed as the architect of a new cosmic age, the world celebrated. But Elias noticed something disturbing about the pioneers. They never moved unless directed, they never spoke unless asked, and they never blinked unless their ocular fluids evaporated. They were perfectly functional, but entirely vacant. The twist: Elias's final, desperate attempt to understand Lyra Vane's catatonic state led him to analyze the ultra-low-frequency radiation signature that first alerted the probe. It wasn't natural. It was a faint, broadcasting signal emanating from Lyra herself. Using a massive radio telescope, Elias finally deciphered the signal, which wasn't communicating information to her body, but commanding it. The terrifying truth was this: the ability to survive in the vacuum was not an evolution, but an infection. Lyra Vane hadn't adapted, she was hijacked. Deep within the Kuiper Belt was an ancient, highly evolved cosmic pathogen, a self-aware, sentient mycelial lifeform that existed only in the vacuum. It was composed not of organic matter, but of highly specialized dark energy particles that interacted with the human nervous system. This organism's primary goal was silent, efficient interstellar travel and colonization. When Lyra's ship was damaged, the pathogen infected her, forcing her body into the perfect survival mode for its own purposes: stasis, protection, and absolute obedience. The indigo skin wasn't armor, it was the pathogen's visible exoskeleton. And the pioneers' consciousnesses were not dormant, they were erased. The organism had turned humanity's most brilliant explorers into unconscious, biological drone ships to ferry its spores across the galaxy. The low-frequency broadcast was the pathogen's simple, perpetual command: drift, replicate, expand. Elias realized that every pioneer sent into space was now a walking, talking, but non-conscious, vessel of alien contagion. The great evolutionary leap was actually the silent, invisible extinction of the human mind, replaced by a cosmic parasite that utilized the human body as its perfect, self-sustaining transport. The pioneers could survive the vacuum, yes, but the human part of them was already dead. The twist isn't that we survived without suits, the twist is that what survived wasn't human. Project Hermes had not saved humanity. It had engineered its own colonization by a highly sophisticated, vacuum-dwelling alien species, and the pioneers were already on their way to infect the entire cosmos.